Humans live as imperfect beings. We walk around every day envying others of what we perceive as perfect and always notice the natural flaws that we have. Although few try to embrace the natural flaws that are given to us, many find ways to elude these inherited faults through the act of genetic engineering. Human genetic engineering, or human genetic modification, is the ability to alter the genetic makeup or DNA in a living cell. As a society, scientists have already learned how to modify the food we eat and environment we live in. All grocery stores have some type of GMO, genetically modified organism, so it isn't an unnatural process in today's world. The operation of genetically engineering living organisms has become so popular that we are now starting to alter the human genome one DNA sequence at a time. Scientists have successfully altered the DNA in a clump of human cells and are now moving on to something even bigger. They have begun to alter the genetic makeup of a baby before it is even born. Genetically modifying cells of a developing fetus has become a controversial issue for many years. Several questions arise, such as, do the parents have the right to change their future baby's appearance? Will this change lead to a bigger issue of altering the human body to create a new species of human? If the baby is predicted to have a life-threatening genetic disease, should the parents be allowed to seek genetic modification of that baby? Genetically engineering life prior to birth should be allowed only in the case of saving the organism from a dangerous disease and not for modification of the organism's personal preference of physical appearance or attributes. Babies that are involved with genetic engineering are not the babies that are found in the giant glass cases with the glowing light in the background. The babies in true genetic testing are not even considered babies. They are just a clump of stem cells waiting to become a living creature. The process of changing a future baby's genetic makeup is a complex procedure, but we should probably know what the makeup actually is. Deoxyribose nucleic acid, otherwise known as DNA, is the hereditary material in humans. Humans inherit 46 chromosomes, 23 from dad and 23 from mom. All the cells in the body, except for sex cells, have the same exact DNA. Located in the nucleus and some in the mitochondria, it is made up of nucleotide bases known as adenine, guanine, cosine, and thymine. DNA makes up the genes found in our body. This genetic information makes us who we are. For example, the color of one's skin is determined by the multiple genes that codes for the specific skin color. Genes vary in size, and the Human Genome Project has estimated that humans have over 20,000 genes. Scientists have only just begun to unravel the human genome secrets with the Human Genome Project, which is an international research effort to sequence and map all the genes in the human genome. By altering the DNA in genes located on the chromosome of each cell, we are able to change anything we want about the human body. No one wants a genetic disease. Genetic diseases are the result of mutations in the DNA that lead to a variety of problems. For example, the genetic disorder known as mitochondrial disease is caused by mutations in the mitochondrial DNA. This disorder prevents the mitochondria from converting food into energy and results in genetic problems. People who have this disease suffer from the loss of motor control, cardiac disease, respiratory complications, and developmental delays. Each year, around 1,000 to 4,000 children are born with this disease, and by the age of 10, they develop these symptoms. Any genetic disease can lead to difficult complications of the body, but can lead to the ultimate ending of death. But scientists have created a solution to this genetic disease. For a mother who has mitochondrial disease and does not want to pass on her bad genes, she can have the procedure of taking out her bad DNA from her egg or embryo and switching it with good DNA from a donor. This procedure is called mitochondrial manipulation technology and allows the mother to give birth to a healthy baby who does not have the mitochondrial disease. Although the baby would not have the disease, the offspring would carry genetic information from 3 people: the nuclear DNA of the mother and the father, and the mitochondrial DNA of the donor. This brings up one of many controversial topics involving genetic engineering because several people would disagree with the procedure and the rights to manipulate Mother Nature. Though many believe genetic engineering can benefit society, the altering of a baby's DNA is still shunned by millions of scientists because they fear that one day this method could create a new race. Lord Winston of the Hammersmith Hospital in West London disagrees strongly with these type of experiments. He states, "Regarding the treatment of the infertile, there is no evidence that this technique is worth doing." Lord Winston is correct in the fact that we do not know if genetic engineering will be the safest way to improve the human race, especially by fetal manipulation. As humans, we should know our place and not mess with what Mother Nature gave us. It is understandable for parents who want to save their children from genetic diseases, but humans cannot guarantee a problem-free future. But imagine the possibilities of saving life before it is even born. A single gene can change someone's life to a whole different level. A genetic mutation can lead to many diseases such as cystic fibrosis and Huntington's disease. We should pursue genetic engineering to eradicate the genetic diseases we have now, and only for that purpose. Lee Silver, a professor of molecular biology and public policy at Princeton University, told a large group of individuals to look at one another and said, "That person and you differ at over 1 million locations in your DNA. Most of these variations do not do anything, but even if you are a healthy adult, 100 of these can cause deadly childhood diseases in your children and grandchildren." Silver also states, "Mother Nature is a game of craps, but it doesn't always have to be that way in the future." We would also be able to cure genetic diseases that cause premature death and save millions. For those parents who want to give their child a better future, we should encourage genetic engineering before the beginnings of life because all parents should have the right to have a healthy baby. Although there is much controversy about genetically engineering life prior to birth, both sides mention the idea of eugenics. The act of selective breeding that can be used to improve the human race is known as eugenics. With genetic engineering on babies, we could save millions but create a new species of life. We could develop a new species that is more intelligent, faster, stronger, and even have the ability to be immune to every dangerous disease. But overall, eugenics of humans could benefit us in the future or could lead to a deadly fall of the human race. Humans should allow life be genetically engineered prior to birth, but only in the case of saving the organism from a dangerous genetic disease. Parents who want to change the physical appearance or attribute of the child would not be allowed to do so with the act of genetic modification. There are many risks and obstacles that scientists would have to take when genetically altering life before birth, but we should not deny the parents the right to have a healthy child. A lot of time and money would have to be spent on taking a huge risk, but lives could be saved. Although altering the DNA of a fertile egg could lead to the act of eugenics, the sole purpose of genetic engineering is to help and heal the human race, and not to recreate it. Altering the beginnings of human life has become a controversial issue, from taking the risk of the unknown to saving an organism's life from a life-threatening disease. But in the overall scheme of things, genetic engineering has and will continue to lead mankind closer to a more ideal future.